Welcome back to the channel. Join us today for a very chill day at Epcot's International Festival of the Arts, where we have absolutely no plans. The Festival of the Arts is one of my favorite festivals, and we love coming in January just to experience all it has to offer. There's so much to see and do. It's such a fun festival. So let's check it out. For this trip, we stayed at Yacht Club, which made it super easy to get to Epcot since it's just like a 10-minute walk away. So we got to Epcot early, grabbed our festival booklets, and headed straight to France for a very quick breakfast. The patisserie in France is a great place to start the day if you want something smaller for breakfast, and it's pretty affordable for Disney standards. They have sandwiches, quiche, mimosas. They have some of the most delicious pastries, and we always try to come here at least once for breakfast. Everything is just so yummy. Try to get here early if you can because this place gets very busy as the morning goes on. After breakfast, we took some time to walk around and see some of the things at the festival that get really crowded later in the day. These artful photo ops are super cute and they're spread out all over the park, but they can get really crowded later on. So we took some time to get some pictures while they were empty. And then we headed over to Creation Shop to take a look at some of the festival merch. I'm not a Figment fan, but if you love Figment, this festival merch is for you. They have so many Figment things here during the Festival of the Arts. Mugs, t-shirts, keychains, water bottles, you name it. Even have the little munchlings. We then headed over to see some of the chalk art, which honestly is just incredible. You can watch some of the artists creating the chalk art and you can talk with them, which is pretty amazing. Some of them have been doing this for over 20 years. Their talent always just astounds me, but the fact that they're making full artwork pieces is insane to me. But it's definitely worth checking out. At this point, I realized I never got coffee, so I decided to try the pistachio cold brew from Joffrey's that was a festival special. It was absolutely terrible, and I ended up throwing it out. It was probably one of the worst coffees I've ever had. But that's okay because there's an art tent near there that I love. They have the most incredible sculpted bronze tables. These tables take 6 months to make, and they cost over $30,000 a piece. I obviously could never afford them, but they're gorgeous. The details are just stunning. And then after that, we checked out the performing arts schedule for the day so we could decide what we wanted to see. And we decided we were going to rope drop the France booth while we waited for some of the performances to start. The booths don't open up until 11, but this line is always insanely long, so rope dropping this was the right choice. We got the French martini and the molten Verona cake, both of which are delicious. The inside of this cake is chocolatey and gooey, and chocolate is my weakness, so I have to get it whenever it is at a festival. It is so, so good. After some cake, we went to see Nicholas Marks. He was a lot of fun, very talented, loved his music. We had such a fun time watching him. Right after him was Art Defying Gravity, which is such a talented group, and I'm always amazed watching them. They often draw a big crowd, so if you want to get a good view, just try to get there a little bit earlier because the space fills up pretty fast and they have some pretty dedicated fans. Took some time to look at the art booths. All of these open up at 11 o'clock, just like the rest of the booths throughout the World Showcase. There's always so much great artwork at this festival from different artists that you can buy or just enjoy looking at. One thing I love about this festival is always discovering new artists because many of them have websites, so even if you can't purchase something here, you can always go back and look into more of their works. And if you flew into Orlando for your trip, you can usually have any of the artwork shipped back to your home if you buy something you can't transport back yourself. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you see something that you have to have, but you're like, how will I fit this in my suitcase? They have you covered there. They'll ship it back to your house for you. We decided before we got too far into the World Showcase that we wanted to paint a community mural. This is so cute. You get a little container of paint, a brush, and it works just like paint by numbers. So you don't have to have any artistic talent whatsoever. You just have to be able to follow directions. You can only paint 4 squares at a time, but it's still really fun, and it's really nice to be able to be part of this bigger mural. At the end of the activity, you get a bookmark showing you what the wall will look like when it's completed. It wasn't finished at the end of the day, so I couldn't get a picture of it, but I'm sure it turned out super cute. And then after that, we went back into the World Showcase to see some more art, try some more food. Our first stop was Morocco with the chocolate cake and hard cider flight. The cake was good if you like chocolate and fruit together. I personally liked it. My sister didn't really like it. I think it's really a matter of personal preference. The cider flight was also really good, and I love that you can try different ciders. Some of these are really fruity, so keep that in mind. If you prefer like a more dry cider, you might not like these as well because they are a little bit sweeter. Then we headed over to the America Pavilion and we got the hummingbird cake. I did not like this at all. It was super, super dry and it was way too sweet. I've had hummingbird cake before and I just did not think this was a good version of it. Then it was time for Animation Academy, which they hold twice a day at the America Gardens Theater. This is always so fun. We love this. It's free. It's taught by a Disney artist.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Animation Academy here at the International Festival of the Arts at Epcot. My name is Hannah Laughlin and I'm super excited to be the artist helping you out today. Before we jump in and get started, just a little bit about me. It's Hannah Laughlin and I'm a senior illustrator for Disney Live Entertainment here at Walt Disney World. So that means I get to work on bringing all the fun shows to life. I also work a lot with our resorts team doing artwork for the resorts. You should have a piece of paper, a clipboard, and a pencil. So if you're missing something, you can just let one of the cast members know. They'll be happy to help you out. Simple, right? We got a big circle for a head, and then I'll help you with all the body and the little details. I always like to show the character at the beginning so we know what it's supposed to look like at the end.
The artist gives you step-by-step instructions to help you create, in our case, the cutest little orange bird.
Kind of sit at that same angle as that oval. So this is on like human portraits. So if you can see, it's this line right here, circle shape on the left, and then this little triangle shape on the right.
It didn't turn out perfect, but I think they're pretty cute. After that, we went back to the World Showcase, and truthfully, I don't think Donald has ever been more relatable than in this piece of art right here. Next up for food is Italy. Italy is always so hit or miss for me at these festivals. The mozzarella frita is actually really good, but it's so inconsistent, and ours was actually cold this time around, so no, that wasn't very magical. But we enjoyed everything else except for the elderflower sparkling cocktail. It was just not good. The flavors were really off, and I don't really know what else to say about it other than I just didn't like it. Checked out more artwork, and actually some of the artists were there signing, so if you buy something at the festival, be sure to check out if the artist that you bought it from will be around to sign it for you. That is a really fun little thing about the Festival of the Arts. It really does connect you to the artists. Then we went off to Germany, which is one of my favorite pavilions. I just love Germany. I love the music, I love the smells, I just love it. I love the little train, so cute. We got the Black Forest cake, which might be one of my favorite desserts at the festival. I could have eaten like 3 of these. This was so decadent and delicious. It's cake, and then it's also chocolate mousse, whipped cream, and cherries. Yum. Since it was getting kind of late, we decided we should try to get some real food, but we weren't very hungry, so we decided just to get some crepes from the creperie in France. While we were eating, we saw a few of the rides were low, so we headed to the land to ride one of my favorites, Living with the Land. One of the best rides in my opinion.
The tropics are home to the greatest diversity of plants on the planet. Many of these, like papaya, bananas, cacao, coffee, and rice, are well known around the world. Like swampy areas and waterways. All parts of this plant, even the flower petals, are edible. The starchy root of the plant has long been used to make flour for baking. One day, many of these lesser-known tropical plants may be as important in the world. Most of us are only familiar with the handful that make up our everyday diet. The common grains growing here, wheat, maize, sorghum, and millet, plus rice, account for nearly 2/3 of our global food consumption.
There are a lot of hidden Mickeys in this ride, so if you like finding those, which I personally do, be sure to look out for them because they're all over the place, and some of them are really easy to find and some of them are kind of hard to find. So yeah, take your time, see if you can find some. When we got off of Living with the Land, we saw that Soarin' was only a 10-minute wait, so we jumped right in line. We love this ride, and this is the Soarin' over California version, which I haven't seen since I've been in Disneyland, so that was a very nice treat.
When the doors to your flight open, please take a seat and store all carry-on items in the underseat compartment. This includes cameras, purses, hats, and of course, these little beauties.
Once we got out of Soarin', it was already dark, so we decided to watch the Spaceship Earth show and see the new lights on the ground. This area is really cool. I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about it, but I thought it was a lot of fun. It was getting really cold, so we headed back to Yacht Club and watched the fireworks from our room. To me, this was the perfect way to end a chill day at the Festival of the Arts. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.